Rebel salute, rebel salute, rebel salute, rebel salute, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades. I'm back again. This is Kenya Revolutionary. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, type that name on YouTube. Subscribe. Find me on X, or formerly known as Twitter. My name is K Revolutionary. You can type that and you can find me, or type just the name Kenya Revolutionary and you find me on Twitter. Okay, so follow me on Twitter and subscribe on my channel on YouTube, where I can give you the latest and the greatest news from Kenya and political breakdown of what's going on in Kenya and the surrounding places. Okay, today I will not waste a lot of time and I won't be staying that long, depending on how the conversation goes. So if you haven't joined my live right now, please, I'm inviting you, if you want to dispute anything that I'm saying, and if you feel like I'm just rambling and waffling around, not making any sense, feel free to join. I will post my link here into the studio and tell me on my face, tell me, hey, listen, you're full of it. Stop it. Stop it. And maybe we can have a constructive discourse on the matter, okay? As you can see, this one is saying the topic is Raila, Ruto, and Koome predictive programming Kenyans for maandamano, then BBI shall be brought about. Now, today, Ms. Koome, the CJ, Chief Justice, the head of the Judiciary, Supreme Court, came out and she spoke against Ruto. It's so funny how Ruto's pronouncements last week about not following orders and saying, the judiciary is corrupt. It seems that it caused so much outrage that the lawyers came out in the streets and demonstrated, and they're still going to demonstrate, okay? Raila also, went out there and made his speech wherever he was and said, you know what, if you keep it up, I will gather 1 million people and take them to Nairobi, and we shall protest against you, the president, if you're going to not follow the court orders or respect the court's decision on matters, okay? Which is funny, because the reason why I'm saying this is fake and this is predictive programming, they're preparing you for this event, okay? Because right now, all of them are in this. Remember, Ruto is deliberately and intentionally doing things to rouse people's emotions, okay? Cause an outrage, for people to give the Raila Odinga and his minions on the opposition to come out and protest against whatever he's doing. That way they can have a reason to cause this anarchy through maandamano, so that they can have this BBI. Because remember, this BBI was designed by the Western powers. By the way, let me digress, because there's some news that's related to what I'm going to speak about today. But just so you can get the whole, whatever of the topic, outline of the topic, Ruto, Raila, and Koome are this whole fake outrage. The pronouncements by Ruto by saying that he will not respect the court's decisions. Raila's response by saying if Ruto does not respect the court's decision, he will lead his maandamano. Koome's pronouncements today, which I'm about to play, also plays into this, because they're preparing you psychologically for a maandamano. I told you, all these guys, they take their marching orders from the Western puppets, the US and the British. Do not be fooled. These people are puppets, okay? And I can prove it. But I'll digress in a few minutes, okay? I'll digress. If you haven't heard, Ibrahim Traore, the only one of the three countries, the Sahel nations, okay? Burkina Faso head Ibrahim Traore survived another coup d'etat that was engineered by the French. The French are trying so hard to get this guy out, because this guy is doing something. He's liberating his country. He kicked out the French. He took control of the uranium in his country. He took control of the gold mines in his country. And he's using all the tax money and the resources that they have to rebuild Burkina Faso. Okay, remember, in order for you to have an industrial revolution, okay, you have to have energy, source of energy. Africa has it. Listen, most of the Western powers, especially the US and the British, they have most of their bases, okay, their military bases in West Africa, because West Africa is rich in natural resources. So, and they don't want the West, they don't want the West Africans, especially Africa in general, to be self-sufficient. They don't want them to actually take control of the resources, because if they take the control of the resources, there'll be a threat to the US, okay, and the Western governments like British, French, Germany. These guys cannot stand Africa being independent, because they'll be like Russia and China. Listen, once Russia and China make use of the uranium by making, using nuclear age power for their industries, for their manufacturing, those guys rose and became superpower like China and Russia. And now today, Russia are superpowers along with Russia, with China. And US has no control, cannot challenge them militarily directly. I mean, that will be suicide. So you can see, if they let Africa and Africans rise and take control of their uranium and their resources and have a strong army, they can no longer colonize them. And they cannot afford that, because they only get their power by oppressing Africans, taking control of their resources. So it is very interesting that Ibrahim Traore has survived his 7th coup d'etat. Okay, these guys have tried to take. He only came in power less than a year ago, and he has already survived 7 death attempts on his life. Okay, thank God for the Wagner group that's protecting him. Okay, along with his forces. Okay, but you can see how the French are very, very, very desperate to take out Ibrahim Traore, because these guys are standing up. Listen, France cannot exist without West Africa. All the gold that are being mined in West Africa are in the vaults in France. Okay, these guys, when Ibrahim Traore stopped the production of uranium from going to France, Paris started suffering from blackouts, because they were depending on the uranium energy, okay, nuclear energy from France, I mean, from Burkina Faso. Just a few months, and France is now suffering. That's why Putin said, you know what? I don't have to fight France directly. All I have to do is help Africans liberate themselves from the French, the Francophone nations, and France will be crippled and will crumble like a rotten fruit, because France is weak. All these countries, the NATO group, they only depend on the US of A for their help. Okay, Germany is the only strong Western country. If you look at Spain, Spain is weak. They cannot help themselves. Only US and England, the British, can actually go to war with Russia and China. But on a head-up fight, on a head-up war, even US and British cannot beat China and Russia. They know that. That's why they're trying to have these proxy wars through Ukraine to disrupt, to keep Vladimir Putin busy. But Putin knows that, you know what, you will not bring this war on my doorstep. If you bring it on my doorstep, I will bring this war to where you guys are extracting your minerals. That's why this one US general said, the future World War III shall take place in the continent of Africa. Okay, and they're using all these mercenaries groups like Bancroft, okay, the Blackwater, and all these deadly forces, ex-military guys who are forming these mercenary groups, okay, to take control of African nations and their resources. Just go look at Congo. See how Congo is so full of blood. Young kids are digging up coppers and all that stuff. They're extracting minerals from Congo. They're extracting minerals from South Africa. They're extracting minerals from Senegal, okay? All the Western countries, Nigeria, oil, all that stuff. The West are losing their grip on Africa because Russia and China, they have realized that what gives Western countries power is their domination in resources by raping the African resources. That's why they are so invested in African government. They make sure that their leaders are corrupt. They corrupt their leaders and give them money. They don't care about the atrocities their leaders commit. They don't care about the corruption of these countries as long as they have control of their resources, and they put their puppets in power in order to undertake this mission. That's why you see Ruto is doing things that are abnormal, not patriotic. That's why Raila, who we thought was a freedom fighter, is also doing things that are not normal. That's you see Koome, the Chief Justice, is making pronouncements that are not patriotic and not in line with the Constitution. It is because they're taking their orders from Washington, okay? These Western countries, that their only interest is to make sure that they're in control of the resources of the African people. I'm telling you, slavery did not stop. They just made sure that they maintain their control of resources. No longer do they need, they don't need human resource from Africa. They need people, their puppets, to do their bidding in Africa by choosing their leaders. It is all written in plain black and white. Just go read the confessions of an economic hitman, a former CIA guy who worked with the IMF and the World Bank. He spells it out in his book how they used to do it. All the coup d'etat that was happening in South America, okay, in Latin America, all the coup d'etats that were happening in Africa, how they're keeping putting people like Mobutu Sese Seko, okay, in order to control Congo, and the gold, the copper, and the oil and all that. Nigeria is the same thing. Ghana for their gold and their cocoa. Okay, Belgium, you know about Belgium. Oh, the King Leopold, that murderous king, who I hope is rotting in hell today. I'm telling you. But that's the play. So you always often ask yourself, why is Ruto and Kome making such pronouncement? Let me start by playing this clip by Abner Nasir. But before I do that, let me jog your mind. Let me remind you. Remember when the finance bill, this illegal finance bill that was rubber stamped by Meg Whitman, who is the US ambassador to Kenya, okay? She made some pronouncements before the CJ, before the courts actually ruled over the issue. Remember, Kiom Tata and his group, they took this matter to the Supreme Court, to the courts, okay? And before the ruling was made, Meg Whitman made some pronouncement that say that this finance bill will benefit Kenyans. Why should an American ambassador make her view known in public about a finance bill of a foreign sovereign nation? Okay, why should that be? Because the US were also very, very interested in this, because they knew that their interest, the thing is, they want to bring US corporations. Remember, the CIA is not doing the citizens. CIA does not work for the US citizens or the people of America. CIA, their main job is to create opportunities for corporations, okay? For corporations. Corporations are, tell me who control corporations. Go look at the history of corporations. Corporations, before it was started, you had to have, in the history of corporations, in order to start a corporation anywhere in the world, you had to have the permission of the King of England. Go look it up. Look at IMF, all this IMF, World Bank, and all this nonsense that you see, this International Monetary Fund, okay? Even including the Federal Reserve, which is not an American institution. It is not an American bank. It's a foreign bank. Who really controls it? All the money and the profit still go back to England. England has never left. England is still ruling the world. And actually, if you look at the throne of the English throne, if you go back and do your history, the people who still control it are the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire, the Vatican. And if you look at the Vatican and look at the history of the Vatican, who is controlling the Vatican? Is the Phoenicians. These are the Phoenicians, the people who killed Jesus. These people are satanists, but I won't go there because the last time I made my whatever. That's what I'm telling you. These people, you can see now, there's a lot happening in the news. People are being exposed. People who went to that island with that pedophile. Remember, they're being exposed because these people are involved in satanist activities. You can see these people don't care about God. These people are demonic. You can see even King Leopold of Belgium, the way he was treating the Congolese, killing millions. You want to talk about the Holocaust. The biggest Holocaust happened in the continent of Africa. When I hear Jews talk about this, lament about 6 million Jews being killed in Germany, I tell them, shut up. If you're going to talk to me about, if you want to talk to me about atrocities, let's just look at the continent of Africa. Only the Belgians killed more than 6 million, okay, who they destroyed, killed. Look at Namibia, the Germans, who killed a lot of people in Namibia, okay? I haven't even mentioned the slave trade by the Jews, okay, to the New World. I haven't even mentioned the Arab slave trade that happened. That's why I'm telling you, when I hear the Jews talk about the Holocaust, I just tell them, shut up. All you have to look at Africa, okay? And we are still being colonized by these demonic people. I'm telling you, look at Palestine. I won't talk about Palestine because that's an issue another day. You saw South Africa took the Israel government to court, okay, for a good reason. These are the very people who actually rule America indirectly. These bankers, these Phoenicians, these the same as the Vaticans, the Jesuits, okay, the Freemasons, okay, the demonic people who don't like Christ, who don't care about humanity. They're inspired by demons. These demonic people. You think it's conspiracy theory? Just do your research by your own self. You'll see. They want this monetary movement, fiat money. Okay, they're worthless. The dollar is not backed by anything. The dollar is just a piece of paper that cannot help you, and it's falling. That's why the BRIC nations are dumping it. The whole world is dumping it. Okay, Putin along with the China, they're saying the dollar is worthless. Let's go back to the gold standard. Remember, the US dollar stopped being backed by gold in 1969. Under Nixon, when Nixon said, hey, you know what, we don't have gold in our reserve anymore, the Vatican took it, so we shall just use oil to back our money by oil. That's why you see every time any country that dares sell their oil in dollars, the US always send their nuclear weapons and their aircraft. That's why they invest so much in the military, because that's the only thing they have to force countries to trade in US dollars. Okay, but now we live in a multipolar world. America is no longer 1945. America and the British are not the only superpowers. Now we have a new global power. We have China and Russia is looking at Africa saying, Africa, it's your time to be liberated, okay? It's your time to liberate it. Remember, this Putin guy, he used to be in KGB, and he used to train Africans in 1970s, in 1960s, in 1950s, when we were fighting the British to come out of Africa, when we were fighting the Spanish, when we were fighting the Portuguese out of Africa. KGB, the KGB, young KGB officer by the name of Vladimir Putin was training Africans. Fidel Castro, the valiant, strong man from Cuba, said, I'm going to train the Umkhonto Sizwe to liberate South Africa, okay, to liberate Mozambique, okay, to liberate Zambia from the British, okay, from the evil Europeans, okay. So I'm telling you, you have to recognize who your real friends. So every time I hear people say that Vladimir Putin is a bad man, okay, he's not an angel, but he has always stood up with the African continent. He has always stood up with the African continent, okay? He has always stood up with the African continent. Everyone was waffling and baffling when Obama became the president. And everybody, Jesse Jackson was crying, thinking we have a black man. But this very black man was used to destroy the African countries. Obama is a sellout. He's a sellout, just like the rest of it. Mandela was a sellout, just the rest of it. He's a fake freedom fighter. Malema is a fake freedom fighter. Okay, look at the real freedom fighter right now in Burkina Faso, and he has already survived seven, my friend, 7 assassination attempts by the French because he wants to liberate his country, because he wants to liberate Africa. Remember, Africa is the richest continent, and it's bigger than China and Russia combined. Listen, it's the biggest. That's why if they have one country liberated, remember when South Africa became liberated from apartheid government, when Mandela came in, the first thing the US and British government say, they have to give up their nuclear power. Okay, they cannot develop nuclear power. Why did they say that? Because they understood if any African country militarily becomes strong and have nuclear power, they can no longer control them. That's why you see North Korea can talk shit. He can talk shit. Kim Jong-un can talk shit every day because he knows if America dares him, he's ready to go toe-to-toe with them. He can also go nuclear with them. And he has told him, he always flipped them every time. He tell them, I don't give a shit about what you have to say. If you ever dare get into war, I'm ready to unleash this nuclear weapon. That's why they don't want Africa to have nuclear weapon. Because when we have nuclear weapon, we can tell them, you can fuck off. Get off the African continent. You can get off the African continent. And I'm telling you, the economy shall go down within 48 hours because all the Western powers, they depend on the African continent. The food, the uranium, the gold, the copper, even the human resources. The slavery to this day is still going on with all the child whatever trafficking that you see across the globe. I'm telling you, that's why Ibrahim Traore can never find peace, because he's being targeted. He's the only man who stood up, those 3 countries. Okay, these 3 countries, and they're starting their own currency because they know the dollar is worthless, it's not backed by anything. That's why they're starting their own African bank with their own money backed by gold. No more paper fiat monopoly money. We are having real money now, gold. We are trading in gold. No longer, if you don't have gold, you see China is now buying a lot of gold from Africa. Russia is buying a lot of gold for Africa because they know in the future we are going back to the gold standard. Your dollar money will not mean nothing. It will be worthless. Okay, it won't buy anything. We are going back to that gold standard. And I'm telling you, just look at Uganda itself. If Uganda has to flip the money and back it by gold, they can be the richest country overnight. Okay? And the US knows this. That's why they keep on telling Museveni, if you ever do that, we are going to bomb you. We are going to bomb you. We are going to bomb you. That's what Gaddafi said. Gaddafi said, we are going to back our money by gold. We are going to have the black dollar, where we're going to trade in Africa with our own money backed by gold. And when Hillary Clinton had this, he told Obama, please send in some troops. Let's go take out Gaddafi. And Gaddafi was taken out because he didn't have nuclear weapons. And they took him out. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. That's why you see now Ibrahim Traore is in trouble. He's in trouble because the French and the West know that if he ever build a nuclear weapon, they'll be in trouble because he'll liberate the whole of Africa. The whole of Africa, I'm telling you. Because if you have nuclear weapon, they don't want any fight with you. They cannot fight you because they know it's going to be a rough war. And listen to me. China and Russia has agreed to have a military contract with, they said, if you attack Russia, if the US or British attack Russia, China shall jump in. If US attacks China, Russia shall jump in. That's a contract. It's a blood contract. Okay? And listen to me. Trump understood that going to war with Russia and China is a no-go. Okay? That will be the end of the world because Russia has more nuclear weapons, nuclear warheads than the US. China is the fourth after the US with nuclear weapons. Okay? You don't want to go to war with them. You don't want to go to them. So they'll try to have these proxy wars. They already whooped Ukraine. You saw how he did. I'll give you an example. You see, the last time when the Putin was flying to Saudi Arabia, listen to me. When he was flying over the Black Sea, okay, all the American warships and flights, those F-150 and all that stuff, all the warships, they were disabled for 2 hours when Putin was on air passing through black water. Nothing was functioning. They had a blackout. Nothing was happening. Okay, that's the boss move, telling US, listen, you think you have the technology? Try to attack me. Try to attack me. We shall finish you. I'm telling you. Biden thought he had the nuts. I'm telling you, stop watching Hollywood movies. Stop watching Hollywood movies. Okay, this guy, when he was flying over the Black Sea, no military vehicle, whether it's a F-150 or everything, the whole warship was black, had no power for 2 hours when Putin was flying over the Black Sea. Nothing could move, nobody, anybody. The only plane that was on air that time was Putin's air and his military jet forces, and everything else in the ground had no power. Even the submarines, nothing had power. It was only Putin, and he flew over for 2 hours to Saudi Arabia and met the president of Saudi Arabia and flew back. And every time he was in the airspace in the whole Black Sea, everything, it was reported, not only here, but you can see they don't tell you in CNN because they want to believe you that American can still go war to Russia, or because they want to propagate, lie to you. But I'm telling you, this is the news that they don't want to tell you. Everything in the Black Sea, from the submarines to the warships to the F-150s, were all grounded with no power. The only person who was in the air was Putin and his freaking jet fighters. And they told the US, they told Biden, start some shit and see what will happen. Try to assassinate me and see what happens. I'm telling you, don't be fooled by Hollywood movies. I'm telling you, the Western powers are done. And after that, he met the Chinese leader, and they say they make a contract that if we ever get attacked by one of the countries, whether the British or the Germany or whoever, if they attack us, we are going all out. And they told us, and they told him, remember the last time when they tried to bomb Russia in Moscow? Okay, there was a missile found in Moscow. Putin stood up and said, try it one more time, and it's on. Try one more time. I don't care if it's your Ukrainian folks, your proxy, try it one more time, and the world is I'm going to switch off the lights. The whole world, there'll be no life in planet Earth. And somebody woke up Biden and told him, hey, listen, this Putin guy means business. Let's back up a little bit. Look at what happened in Ukraine. People think it's a war. It's not a war. Putin say Ukrainians is part of the Russian Confederation. These are our brothers. We speak the same language. We just have to take out this clown that was there. And within even 1 month, you've been told the CNN is lying to you. The war had been won early. Okay. They won that within a few months. They cleared it up. And Putin said, I'm not even trying to fight them. I'm just clearing up the bad forces that are there, the Nazis, the Khazarian Jews that are there that are causing this fight. And he cleared it up and say, if I was to fight Ukraine, it won't take me less than 2 days. It won't take me even a day. I will destroy them. But those are my brothers. This is the part of the Russian Confederation. Okay, Putin tell them I'll not bomb them, but I will go clear it up. Okay, target bombing, and I'm not using nuclear weapons on them. That's why he told Biden, you try one more attack on Moscow. Try to attack Moscow, and I'll switch off the lights. Planet Earth as you know it will end. Okay, and China said, try that one more time. We are jumping in. So ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm telling you, the Third World War is in Africa. These proxy wars between the Wagner and the Bancroft and all the Blackwater, okay? They cannot go face to face. They know that. They understand that. There's an understanding. That's why you say Trump said, you know what? Say what you want, but Putin is a real leader, and I'm not going to war. Let's have peace. Let's have peace in order for life in planet Earth can continue. But you see, Biden is being controlled by the Jews. the Jews, Netanyahu, who's bombing children in Gaza right now, bombing little children, because these people are satanists. They don't care. They don't have a heart. They don't have a spirit. They kill kids and don't care. People who are defenseless. They don't care if children and single mothers die. They just bomb them. Okay? But Iran is standing up too. Iran is saying, no, 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 no. You keep on, keep on, keep on. Keep on. That's what I'm telling you. If you're reading your Bible, the time is coming up. It is over. This act, they shall come. They shall come. Jesus, if you believe in Jesus, all the prophecy is coming truth, because now we have a multipolar world. It's no longer one country that actually can bully the rest of the nations. We have a multipolar world where we have China, we have Russia, we have North Korea, we have the BRICS nation aligned to them saying, no. US, you cannot bully as like you used to. You cannot pull up that stuff that you pulled in Vietnam. You cannot pull up that stuff anymore. No. This is a new dispensation. The world is different now. We shall take you to courts, and if the courts don't work, my friend, you'll have to make a decision if you're going head up in the nuclear exchange, which no one wants, because everyone wants to live. Okay, everyone wants to live. So whether whether it's whoever, Trump or whoever it's coming, they'll have to negotiate and deal with China and Russia in some sort of way. The British government and the US government can no longer have the influence that they used to have pre-World War II or World War II after 1945, when they actually had the sole superpower. Those times are gone. Those times are gone. The world is changing. The world has changed, my brothers and sisters. This was Kenya Revolution. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace and blessing. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.